San Marcos is growing fast, and on the surface, it looks incredible. New roads, new development, new infrastructures popping up everywhere you look. It feels modern, it feels exciting, it feels like an opportunity, but behind all that growth is a cost most homeowners never see coming. And it doesn't show up until it's too late. Right there on your property tax bill. Hey, Sean Tips here. I run a real estate team here in Central Texas. Let's talk about the illusion of good growth, because growth looks like progress. Cities promote it as an investment in the future, better roads, better schools, better amenities. And to be fair, that part is completely true. But what doesn't get talked about enough is this. Growth isn't free, it's financed. Every new project, every expansion, every improvement, someone has to pay for it. So how does all this actually get paid for? Here's the part most people don't realize. Cities don't just have piles of cash sitting around to build all this. Instead, they borrow money. They issue something called municipal bonds, basically long-term debt. That debt gets paid back over time. Property taxes, MUDs, water district assessments, and rising home valuations. So the cycle looks like this. The city borrows money, builds infrastructure, and then slowly passes that cost on to the residents in the area. That new road you're driving on, it's not paid for today, it's paid for by you over the next 20 to 30 years. Now let's talk about the property tax chain reaction, because this is where it really starts to hit home. When infrastructure improves, property values go up, at least on paper. Sounds like a win, right? But higher valuation means higher property tax assessments by that county. At the same time, the city has now debt to repay, which puts even more pressure on tax rates. So even if nothing changes for you, you don't move, your income stays the same, your property taxes can still climb because you're not buying a home, you're buying it into the city's debt cycle. And this brings us to the hidden carry costs most buyers completely miss. When people think about affordability, they focus on the mortgage. That's the obvious number, but property taxes, those are often underestimated. And over time, they creep. Your monthly payment slowly increases year after year. And over a long term, that can mean thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars more out of your pocket. So why is San Marcos specifically at risk for this? It comes down to one thing: aggressive expansion. San Marcos is growing very quickly, and fast growth requires a lot of infrastructure. More roads, more utilities, more public services, which means more projects, more financing, and more long-term financial obligations. This isn't about fear. It's just about reality. Fast-growing cities don't just create opportunity, they also create financial pressures. Now, to be very clear, growth is not a bad thing. It's necessary. It brings jobs, improves quality of life, and builds stronger communities. But there has to be a balance, because when growth outpaces planning, it can lead to unsustainable tax burden on the homeowners. That's why this isn't about being anti-growth, it's about being informed. So what should you actually do as a buyer or a homeowner? Start looking beyond just the list price. Dig into the property tax history, look at how it's changed over time. Ask questions like, what infrastructure projects are planned? Are there upcoming bond measures? Is this area targeted for future development? Because the smartest buyers don't just look at the house, they study the city or the area. If you're thinking about buying in San Marcos, or you actually own here, you need to understand what's coming next. Reach out. I'll walk you through the numbers, the trends, and what this actually means for you in long-term cost. I'll see you around, and I'll see you in the next video.